soft sales and trustability and likability and so on would be, would you say the programs like HSN, QVC, these channels where people tune in to visit with the people and just buy whatever they bloody sell, basically?
Well, it's a relationship, right?
Right.
You know,
yeah.
like I turn on the TV and I see that person on QVC and it's like, I've seen her every single day, so I know her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so when people buy my CD programs, they wear their iPod and they listen to Kevin Hogan all day, and then they meet me and they say, you know, when you say on CD 44, what do you think?
Isn't that great? Because they listen to it over and over again because it takes that, right?
It's fabulous, yeah. Well, if you want to integrate it and really make it part of you, yeah.
You're a phenomenal speaker. I know you got, I'm not going to take up any more of your time, although I could quite easily talk to you for 2 days. But you have some, on your website, you have phenomenal stuff, phenomenal stories. I just want to tell them about Coffee with Kevin Hogan, where people can get a chance to connect with you and know more about who you are, all of the fantastic things that Kevin Hogan's done. He's done a lot of amazing work. You'd be really surprised. And I will write and blog about all the amazing work that he does. But tell us about Coffee with Kevin Hogan. How can they connect with you?
Coffee with Kevin Hogan, eZine is now just a shade over 10 years old. I've been doing it for 10 years every week, maybe miss 2 weeks a year,
and
maybe 3.
Every morning is peach ginger tea.
I have ginger peach tea. And it's funny because people all over the world, they'll have ginger peach tea when I arrive somewhere.
I can taste it when you say it. I've never in my life tasted it, but it's just something you can just, you connect to immediately. Yeah.
It is, and it's just part of being authentic and just branding, right? You know, people see Kevin Hogan and they go, oh, he likes Lost and Survivor, and he bets on football games, loves to play blackjack, he's honest, and he's a cool person, he's weird. They have the things. They don't
put you in boxes.
Huh?
Yeah. Put you in boxes.
It's just a weird box though, because it's so all over the place, right? But when Coffee with Kevin Hogan is a unique experience, I think. Most people who read it stay customers for a long, long time.
They get to know you, don't they? And you're just such you're a lovely speaker, you're a lovely author, you're lovely to speak to in person. So I think that really comes through in your newsletter.
It's fun to be real, and I get yelled at once in a while because sometimes I'll get political, you know, I might hit home on...
Do you do it on purpose? Or?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To polarize?
Yeah, sometimes. And polarizing has to be gentle too.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is you can't call, you know, President Obama or Bush. I didn't like either of them. But you can't say they're intentionally bad. But you can say that I disagree with, like, oh, good, now we have government doing healthcare. Right. I feel so much better already. You know, this will make, because what else? Well, look at all the things the government's done well, right?
Well, look at the things behind it. You know,
Well, government sucks at everything. Yeah. So, you know, I don't want that. And so I will say things like that. And then I had a real estate agent get mad at me because I said, you know, I did a video. I'm doing some videos now with coffee.
Good.
And so now people can see video.
Nice.
It was pretty cool this last couple of weeks. And it was 37 minutes, and she says, I was going to show all of my real estate agents because it was such amazing information, but then you said you didn't like Barack Obama. And actually I didn't. I said I didn't like the health care plan. You know, and it was funny. My son, when the elections were going on, 2 years ago, I guess it is, or a year and a half ago, November, for Obama against McCain. Yeah. He didn't want to vote for either of them. He wanted to vote for
son?
He wanted to vote for Bob Barr, and Bob was the Libertarian candidate. Wayne Root here in Las Vegas was the vice presidential candidate. And his teacher says, well, why don't you want to vote for one of the other candidates? He says, well, I don't like McCain because he's not real. And he says, I don't like Barack Obama because he's an idiot. And of course, then he got called all these terrible things because he had said that.
People are very passionate about it, and still are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And either way.
Yes, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so you got to be careful. But it's fun, and people know that a political view is a political view. And that doesn't always define the purpose. But I'm very much a person who believes that personal responsibility is way the hell more important than getting a handout from the government.
Oh, yes, so much. Because, I mean, you wouldn't be where you are today, you know.
Oh, if my mom would have taken money, if she would have accepted welfare money, everything would have gone wrong.
Yeah. And you keep pushing, don't you? You're still motivated to keep pushing, and I really like that, because sometimes you see people in celebridom, you know, and it just seems like, God, can you ever get enough? You know, I mean, what are you doing with all this money, you know, and all this power and so on? It seems to get a bit out of hand, I think. And I'm thinking of some people in particular, nothing to do with us. But what I like about you is that your work is for the good, isn't it? It's really for the good of humankind.
I think
you're teaching people things that you're learning.
The last book, the 168-hour week.
Yeah.
You know, I read Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and I thought, Jesus, if people do that, they're so screwed because if you.
You know, I didn't even read it. It just never appealed to me.
It's not that it's a bad book. It's just if people like say that you make your $50,000 a year and you work 4 hours a week, okay, great, and then you go play, and that's cool. But what happens when you get hit by a car and your children are over here, and then all of a sudden you haven't saved money? That you're living in the moment, which is great. There's nothing wrong with living in the moment as long as you have a lifetime of moments saved over here. And so, especially for the head of the household, whoever that is, the woman or the man in your household. My family was always a mom.
Yeah.
You know.
So many families these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And so living in the moment, cool, and doing the 4-hour work week and is great, but you got to think, it's like, do I have 10 years of when I get disabled, you know, what's going to happen? Because stuff happens in life.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
all the time.
I like the concept of the 168-hour work week, because isn't it about merging the two?
It's about, actually it's this 168-hour week, pulling the work out. Because I don't even know when I'm supposed to quit working. And
that's what I'm saying, because as an entrepreneur, it becomes quite blurry, right?
Which I think is pretty healthy, actually.
I like it.
I don't want a life of balance, because if I have a life of balance, that means I'm here and I hate this over here, and then I have to balance it off by having like 40 hours of something I enjoy. I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
I need to I'm alive today.
I know.
I'll be dead on some day in the future. I really don't want to have to balance it out. I want my life, except for the taxes, I want my life to be a good life.
No money, no taxes.
You know?
But I like that idea, right? But I like that idea that, you know, some people are just dying to retire. And I think, well, come on, you know, do something exciting and, you know, your life should be fun, right? Why can't you merge the two together?
I think when people start thinking of retiring, then their life is something they can reconsider now. And think about it and go, you know what, gosh, why am I really looking forward to retiring? Because you should really be considering the idea of looking forward to living. Because living is so much cooler than stopping living.
Now everybody check out the books that Kevin has on Amazon. You got 19 books on there. You've also got about 3 or 4 on Kindle?
There's a few on Kindle now,
on Kindle? Yep. There must be audiobooks there too.
There's a couple.
And what I really like about that is that there are just phenomenal reviews for practically all of Kevin's books. So, you know, you can find out a bit more about each subject and how each subject is different. A lot of them have persuasion in the title, but they're all different books though, aren't they?
Very much.
Completely different.